Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Salty Sweet Games. That's where you are. This is the space that exists in. Hello, we play tabletop games. Did you know that? If you didn't, you do now. And what else? What else should I say? Oh, I'm salty.
Yeah, and I'm sweet.
Yeah,
You know,
that's the. Do you get
connections
it?
are a thing.
Do you get that? One of us is salty and one of us, you got it.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is Masks of Nyarlathotep. It's our Pulp Cthulhu campaign. That's that. Before we go around and meet everyone and their characters, we have some channel stuff to do. We have a bunch of announcements today. It's just, there's a whole energy. Everybody here was up early. It's 9 something a.m. on the West Coast, and we were all like, woo, we're up, we're ready, let's go. So there's an energy. I want to let you know. Couple things. Missing Annie Lee, our podcast collaboration with Off the Table, releases next Friday! It's very exciting. It is very exciting. Summer, tell them how exciting it is.
It's so exciting. We've been waiting for this day since like June or July last year.
Yeah, that's when we started planning
about
in
it.
earnest.
Yeah. So we are very excited. And it's gonna be so good, y'all.
Yes. So that's the first thing. It will be available on all your favorite podcast apps. It is a big passion project. So when it comes out, listen, maybe if you feel like it, if you have time, like I know the
You
world
can
is. But
already go follow it. Like
You
it's
can.
out. The trailer is out, so you can go follow on like Apple, Spotify, wherever you listen to podcasts, and that way when the first episode fully drops, you will get a notification that it is out. So yeah, go follow it. Why aren't you following it?
Follow it now.
Go.
So that's an exciting thing. Another exciting thing is that we are having a bit of kind of an anniversary stream this Tuesday at 6 p.m. Pacific. We started streaming our Witcher campaign 1 year ago, like Tuesday.
Yep.
Tuesday. And so we thought we would celebrate with some friends and play just like a chill game of For the Queen. So we've got me, Kienna, and Allie, our friend Sam and Damiel from our Against the Stars Burn Bright campaign, and Gabe James Games joining us for all the romance and card-based prompts.
Yeah. And also speaking of Against the Stars, we have Season 2. We have Season 2. We have been officially renewed and we have a return date. So we will be returning at a new time slot, actually, on February 24th. So we are going to be live on Wednesdays at 2 p.m. Pacific or 5 p.m. Eastern. Same 2 hours. We just got schedules are hard. So that happened. But yeah, we should.
Lined up.
Yeah, we finally got everything lined up and we're really excited to be coming back with that. We have a whole new, same characters, but whole new shenanigans as we do more stuff with cults and corporations, which, seem to be a running theme
We
here.
like those things here.
We like these, we like
Yeah,
those
say
stories
it, Kienna.
here.
Say you like cults.
No, I refuse. So yeah, so we'll be the For the Queen stream. This is a stream exclusive until I make a tweet later today.
Hey, yes, a tweet.
So yeah, so super excited for those. And we've got 700 followers on Twitch.
Hey, thank you.
Thank you everyone for supporting us. We really appreciate it. And yeah, especially as we hope to continue to grow and do more stuff across the space here on the channel and with other awesome people. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that's
Wow.
all of our
That
announcements.
was no, it's not.
Oh.
Everybody.
Yes. God damn it.
God damn it, we have a Discord. Listen. It's been a year, and we thought, we kind of feel like we'd like to try having a Discord. If you would like to join it, there's nothing in there now. There's no one in there now but me and Ken. If you would like to join it, you can DM us on Twitch or Twitter. Just put something about like how you found us so we know you're not a scary troll bot, and join us if you want. I don't know, it's an experiment, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we're just experimenting with it. It's
Yes.
just going to be a new space for us, and yeah, just a way for us to talk with y'all when we're not live on stream.
Kienna, can you quote it? Can you quote "God damn it, we have a
So,
Discord"?
Discords, yeah.
So yeah, because we would like to continue the conversations we have on stream in a space that's not Twitter, which is hard to have extended conversations on with any nuance. So it is there. We will see how it goes. But now we need to get into this. I have to thank our sponsors, the first being Roll20, our virtual tabletop of choice, which unites gamers across any distance with easy-to-use tools that run straight from your web browser for free. We are part of their Spotlight program, which highlights indie TTRPG creators all across the interwebs. And we love them very much. My plushie! Oh, my plushie! It's on that
Oh,
Allie's
yeah, I
video.
have the same thing where I'm like, God damn it.
My plushie! Where's my plushie?
There it is.
Oh, this is my
Magic.
Roll20 plushie! Hi. So you can get this. Bunny, I know you're not technically working, but if you have a link to where this is, or we can find it probably. This is lovely, and I love it very much. That's all. We also have our sponsors, Dice Envy and Grinding Coffee Go. I have all the things with me now. So we have affiliate links with Dice Envy and Grinding Coffee Co. that you can find in our chat right now, or we have links down below that you can click on. Anything you support from these companies goes to also helping support the channel, by which we mean working on new projects, compensating our cast, and, you know, keeping the lights on, all that good stuff. It's a win-win-win. There's also tip incentives down below for this game, so you can impact it live, like right now. Last thing, this is the longest intro I've ever done. We here at Salty Sweet Games use safety tools, lines, veils, accent and no cards, stars and wishes, and content warnings because while the characters may be put through hell, the players are here to have fun, and they're our priority always. So maybe we should talk to them. Kienna, do you want to tell us who you're playing?
Yeah, sure. This was the longest intro we've ever done. Jesus Christ. On energy today, clearly. I'm Kienna. My pronouns are she and they. I'm the creator of the channel, but today I am playing Irene Blackwell. She is the resident forger, handy with a gun, also teen mom. That's it. That's who she is.
Beautiful. Let's go over to Allie. Allie, good morning.
Good morning. Hey, everybody. It's Allie. I play Ganymede Graves, adventure scientist who somehow managed to survive the Battle of Miser House. I have 1 hit point. A single hit point.
1 whole hit point. 1 hit point, please. And moving right
One of your
along.
finest.
Moving right along to Summer. Good morning, Summer.
Hello. What session is this?
42.
I need it for my notes.
It's 42.
Hi, everyone. I'm Summer with no pen. I use she, her pronouns, and today I am playing Mr. Charlie Rapp, who uses he, him pronouns, and he's doing just fine, I think, as far as living goes.
What about emotionally?
I'm still... Did you say teen mom when you were describing Irene? Because that...
I said team mom.
Team mom. I was like describing Irene as a teen mom.
I mean,
literally cracks me up to no end. It made me choke.
I mean, you did have a kid pretty young, not a teenager,
not
but
a teenager. But anyway, that really caught me off guard. Yeah, and things are just going so great.
So
We didn't die. We didn't die last time.
Yeah.
And we're not going to die this time either.
I believe it.
This is me knocking on wood.
I'm excited.
That's a good segue. Let's go down to Tommy. I'm sure your wood knocking will save you.
Yep. I mean, I'm Zebulon, who I play. Hi, I'm Tommy. I didn't pay anything on the Twister. I play Zebulon Augustine Claiborne Montgomery III, who is doing really well despite having run straight into the frame. Like, did really well last week, so I'm happy. He's got 28 hit points. He's fine. It feels like we take turns just taking an absolute beating each combat. Like, but yes, I'm doing fine. I'm super, super excited to find out about the fallout of this. And Gavigan.
Yes, that. Okay, so now let's get into a brief recap. Last time we had an epic showdown at Miser House. With their inspector and constable allies, the group charged into the fray to save Annabelle and Yalisha. The ritual was already in full swing as Gavigan and Zara summoned an eldritch abomination from the ether. A huge serpent-like thing with bat-like wings tore through a green gash in the sky and feasted on one of the cult's sacrificial victims. In the mayhem, our heroes were able to free those who were shackled to the steel, while simultaneously interfering with Gavigan and Shafiq's plans. Gavigan cast spells, manifesting what looked like lightning from his fingertips, while Shafiq exerted her will over the flying creature. Irene and Zeb tag-teamed against Zara, knocking her out, though her fanatical servant Edja was able to protect her. He lifted her over his head and she was whisked away by the creature and through the gash, which closed behind them. The investigators and their allies were closing in on Gavigan, who used the last of his magical reserve to nearly take out Ganymede Graves, whose shotgun boarding axe had blasted its way through his protection. In the end, our heroes were victorious, though Zara Shafiq is still a player on the board. The aftermath of March 24th, 1925. In the days and weeks that follow, the dust settles around the unbelievable events that took place at Miser House on the night of March 24th, 1925. Barrington and Craig attempt to explain what happened there to their superiors, but what eventually gets released to the public is a drug raid gone wrong. Barrington and Craig resign, in quotes, and you all are never listed as being present on any official reports. Abdul Nawisha is tried and convicted as the drug supplier. Some of the members of the Brotherhood present at Miser House were arrested, while others fled the scene. The only hint of truth came via an article in The Scoop, penned by one Mickey Mahoney, which reads as follows.
Is that my cue? Mm-hmm. Mystery at Miser House solved by Mickey Mahoney, exclusive to The Scoop. Rumors are swirling regarding recent events in Walton-on-the-Naze. The Met would have you believe it was merely a drug raid, but you, dear reader, deserve the truth. This reporter has learned the dope peddlers the Met claims to have apprehended may, in fact, have been followers of an esoteric religion or cult heretofore unknown, which had gathered there for some sinister purpose. This cult may even be responsible for the so-called Egyptian murders which have had Scotland Yard stumped these last 3 years. Most shocking of all are the whispers that whatever ritual the cultists were performing may have somehow succeeded in penetrating the barrier that separates the material world from the spiritual. Residents of Walton-on-the-Naze report having seen a sickly green streak of light in the sky over Miser House the night of the raid. Could it be that the deaths of Edward Gavigan, formerly of the Penhew Foundation, and of an unfortunate officer of the Met, were of supernatural causes? Regardless, rumors also tell of certain others present at the Miser House raid. 3 Americans and a daring family member of a baron who may have ties to the Admiralty. These courageous and ridiculously attractive investigators are said to have uncovered the truth about the cult's intentions and led police to the site. Whomever they are, They have the highest esteem of this reporter, and I trust all the readers of this journal. Let them be reminded of the words of my friend, Mr. Anthony Chang of the Shanghai Courier, who often says, "One deceit leads to many others." More on this developing story next week.
Yay!
Holy shit, that was so good.
That was written by Bill of the Forest on Twitter, who played Mickey, in collaboration with the beautiful and talented
I'm gonna
Allison
die
Robinson.
over these.
Oh, I love
Ridiculously
obsessed.
attractive.
Dude, that's the part that I...
Yeah, what was the line? Because I want to quote it. These, what was it? These blank?
These courageous and ridiculously attractive investigators.
These courageous and ridiculously attractive investigators. Ah. Anyway. Recovered Yalisha Assam decides to head for greener pastures in Paris. After being released from the hospital, Annabelle has been staying with you at the hotel. So far, she hasn't said much at all. You read that Miles Shipley's verdict for the deaths in Chelsea ends up as not guilty by reason of insanity, and he is committed to a sanatorium indefinitely. The only words he spoke at the trial that weren't gibberish were quotes from a poem. Yesterday upon the stair, I met a man who wasn't there. He wasn't there again today. I wish he'd go away. In the small amount of time John Craig isn't at Ganymede's bedside, along with her grandfather Sir Edmund and former nanny Beatrix Oakley, he does bring by something he personally acquired from Henson Manufacturing in Derby. Blueprints. He doesn't disclose exactly how he got them, but he does tell you the place was abandoned. Did you interrupt their process, or was the Brotherhood's work there finished? Sir Edmund put out the word on the pirate ship the Sea Devil, but by the time anyone from the Admiralty got to Limehouse Docks, the ship had already set sail into international waters, though you know exactly where they're headed. What you know is that your good friend Jackson Elias was investigating the infamous Carlisle expedition, all formerly presumed dead, which led him to a conspiracy involving death cults around the world. Many names, many forms, but all the same and to one end. Based on the clues you found, you theorize that these cults are working together to build a machine of some sort, though the particulars and purpose are still unknown to you. What you do know is that you are among the only ones who can and must stop them. Is there anything you would like to canonize that you looked at or took from Miser House?
The scepter.
Mm-hmm. Take it or take them or examine them. Or both. It's fine.
Both? Well, no, probably took them. Probably took them because the like that whole.
They're about a foot long each.
That's fine. Just kind of, just tuck inside the overcoat surreptitiously, Probably didn't look too closely at them because this isn't Zeb's area of expertise.
Mm-hmm.
Probably figures that, any of the other three are better to look at this than Zeb. Yeah. So
totally.
Yes. Two things.
Mm-hmm.
I want to take. It depends. I don't know how big it was, but you said that there was like a broken stone tablet in the basement in that secret room. That was the other secret room that me and Irene went into.
Did I?
Yeah, I wrote it down. Broken stone tablet covered with inverted onks. Don't know what time it's from. We couldn't date it, but Ganymede can. So I'm gonna take things, and I'm gonna take one of those blood plants.
You're gonna take Audrey too? Okay. Yeah. I think there's one at least small enough for you to be able to do that.
Yeah. Put it in my pocket.
Maybe not that small, but I don't think it's that weird for you to carry out a...
It's like me leaving, just leaving with my potted plant. Don't mind me and my plant. Yeah, I'm taking that with me in the tablet.
Okay.
Super cash.
Super duper cash. Let me take a peek. I don't think any of you have botany. Yeah, so that would be for that.
I have natural
You have
natural world.
Go ahead and make a natural world check for the plants.
I would love to do this because I got to bump up my natural world a bit after our
Can I
last.
try too, just in case? Because
Yeah,
you never know.
Of course.
You never know.
That's great.
No.
No. So Charles, when you and Ganymede are taking a look at these plants, Ganymede, if these are, these look like no plant you've ever seen or read about. Even doing a bit of research as you are recovering, you find nothing. They are not classified.
Okay.
And depending what you feed them, they're either dying or flourishing.
I mean, like, I guess, like, how hungry are they in general? You know what I'll feed them? Mice. I think, because you can get mice from pet store, like, easy.
Yeah.
They have, like, 1 million babies a minute, so I think that's fine.
Oh, God. Yeah, you right. Oh, yes, I see the tablet you're talking about. Ganymede or anybody. Archaeology or history?
Oh, archaeology.
Great.
It's regular success.
So Charles took at least part of this tablet from the statuary in the kind of workshop basement. It's about 2 feet. The whole thing was 2 feet square. And basically what you can tell from this, it's been defaced, right, by these inverted arms. It's like the original stuff has been scratched out. But originally it does appear to be from the 3rd dynasty, like everything else you found out about the Black Pharaoh.
But I'm not able to make out any of the hieroglyphics or anything that were underneath. Okay.
No. Anything else?
Am I remembering incorrectly, or were there other things in that basement torture room at Miser House
there were lots
in the
of
drawer?
things. There were scrolls there. There were more busts of the Black Pharaoh, ostensibly. I think you probably do recall that letter from Omar al-Shakti in Cairo about the foundation taking a bust. Which one it is? There were at least 2 there. Is less clear.
Could we have had Zeb perhaps take photos of the busts and other large artifacts that we don't want to take with us?
Absolutely.
But I think any documents, I think all the documents are coming with us, right? We want to be able to refer to those things later.
Look at these people remembering what my character can do more than I can.
Look at these people. Yeah.
Camera saved our life at the exhibition.
That's right. Of course, there was the unfinished letter from Gavigan to somebody called the Pale Viper. Basically admitting to, putting the thing together that these cults are working together, and they took out Jackson Elias. There was a 6-inch bust of the pharaoh carved from ebony and a 12-inch bust carved from marble.
But we're taking the little one. Definitely taking the little one.
Okay. The scepters, I think what's interesting about them, nothing happens when you just pick them up. They almost look, they're some kind of metal, but you can't identify it, and it looks almost organically grown as opposed to carved or welded or anything like that. And there's a book written in Arabic, which I don't believe any of you speak, that basically translates to Song of the Jinn. But you have that on you. Now, because I'm a kind and benevolent keeper and definitely, not mischievous at all, Gavigan was wearing a weird headdress.
With the eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, we need to at least inspect that, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, sure. That makes sense. That makes
What are these? What are the appropriate skills for the headdress of
I'll
eyes?
describe it a bit. And you can tell me, what you do. It's a golden headdress in which hundreds of small eyes have been fashioned, also from gold. The eyes each contain a precious gem of varied color. It's very pretty. You can approach this however you want, if you want.
I want to vibe check it.
Yeah?
I want to touch it. I love touching stuff with my bare hands.
Yes, you do. What would you be using? Is this... I don't think medium or divination necessarily applies. A general vibe check
Yeah.
would probably be power.
Yeah, I can do that.
Mm-hmm.
Here I go. Blammo. Success.
Fabulous. There definitely seems to be something, I guess you would describe it as magical about it, Charlie. It definitely resonates with you. This is something that was fashioned. It is made of just plain old gold and precious gems, right? It's not like the scepters, which don't seem to be made of anything you recognize. But it certainly wasn't just there because Gavigan wanted something nice to wear.
I mean, if nobody stops me from pocketing it, I will. I'm already taking a plant.
Yeah. I don't think anybody would stop you.
Yeah.
Since you know that, if you want to try and tap into this, it'll be a Cthulhu Mythos check.
Okay.
Whenever you decide to try to do that, if you do at all.
Yeah, I'd love to. I think that's great. Oh,
Okay.
We do still have advantages. I think, do we have 2 or
I'll
3
use an
advantages
advantage.
in the pool?
Yeah, I'll use an advantage just in case. You never know. No, that's fake. Can I use another advantage?
I love when that happens. There's nothing for now. It's whatever this is. It's beyond your experience so far. But there will be more times. There's a lot of time that's going to pass where you can try. In terms of the blueprints, I'm just giving you all the stuff before I let you run around. The blueprints are dizzyingly complicated schematics, many annotated in tiny spidery handwriting that is almost impossible to read. Some have strange sigils drawn in the margins or free space. some of which you probably recognize, the kind of flower-shaped symbol of the bloody tongue, the inverted ankhs, and there are at least 2 others, if not more.
Is the flower shape you're describing the one that was carved into Jackson's head? Okay.
Yeah, it's the one that's actually on the landing
it's
page.
Cool.
Maybe I'll go over there. Nah. Yeah, why not? Yeah. See if I can get over there. That one. Yes. There it is. I'll make it nice and big. Yeah. Anyway. Someone can make me a mechanical repair check. It has to be extreme if you want any more information. Because I don't believe any of you have engineering or physics.
No, sadly. But I will use one of our... I think we have 2 in the pool left. I'll use one of those.
She has
Sure
decent mechanical
auto
repair.
check.
You sure it's not a drive auto check?
I want to try too.
One day.
I have a 40. Does anybody have any more than that before I roll this?
No, but I figure why not go for it? You know, why not?
Yeah,
go
no,
for the
definitely.
gold?
Okay,
I'll
so
also
here
use
it
an
is.
advantage. Go. You go first.
Oh, I got a
Okay.
success.
But
Oh,
it's extreme.
I got...
But
It's got to
I'm
be an
gonna use
extreme.
advantage. Roll 20, be with me.
Oh.
Wait, I'll
Luck
use
is a
6
free
luck.
resource.
I'll use 6 points of luck. Fuck
Luck
that.
is a free resource.
Okay, this is going to be, I think, in tandem with Ganymede because she has points in this. Yeah, because the 2 of you were already looking at the tablet, so I think that makes sense.
Yeah.
Taking a look at this, however, Charlie, like, you come across this knowledge in your life. Some of the items appear to be regulators or valves, and the rest is beyond speculation. When you point that out, regulators and valves, the nearest guess that Ganymede can come up with is some advanced engine design, perhaps for an airplane.
Yeah, I think Charlie, like, he dabbled. He's a dabbler. He loves looking at. So there's like probably one time that he was in some really like seminar that he started to like doze off in about, like, you know, the newest car model that he went to in his youth, and he's like, oh, that guy actually looks familiar to me.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Very
so,
cool.
awesome.
But that's what you find out. All that was left in Henson Manufacturing. Now, finally, I'm almost done talking. Basically, Ganymede needs 2 weeks minimum to get back up. So I'm wondering what you do during that time, and if you remain in England afterwards, whether at the Ritz or at Ganymede's cottage in Oxford. Yeah, what do y'all want to do?
I mean, where would Ganymede want to recover?
That's what I was gonna say. I'd imagine you'd want to go home, right, Ganny?
I think she would want to go home as soon as it was safe for her, right? She was a hair's breadth from death here. So I think as soon as it's safe, that she'd want to go home. And so I imagine that's probably for her and maybe 1 or 2 others an ambulance ride, rather than the train. And I think that John Craig takes the lead in arranging that, and maybe he and Beatrix. No, Beatrix goes ahead so she can prepare things. So Craig rides in the ambulance, and there's probably room for others, but there's also the train.
So Oxford.
Yes.
And Zeb would probably make sure that Annabelle comes with them.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely wants to keep an eye on her right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, plenty of room at the cottage.
We keep calling it the cottage. Sounding like a mansion.
It's what
As with so many
it's what
cottages.
rich people call a cottage. Isn't your grandfather titled?
Yes, he is a baron.
He's a baron.
Does
The
your grandfather
23rd
feel
Baron
about Market
Windermere.
Shorts? I think honestly Zeb is he'll hand the scepter over once we sort of get back somewhere. Probably to Charles first and just be like, I mean, you should probably check to make sure there ain't anything hinky with this, I guess, first before. I mean, Zara was using it and I think she was controlling that thing, whatever it was.
Yeah, I think she was too, but I don't think it had anything to do with this.
All right, well, I think you should still check it out, just to be safe. We don't want anyone, I don't know, getting mind controlled by some weird doohickey.
Okay. Yeah, Charlie will check out the scepters. I mean, he's touching everything already. Like, he's got a blood plant now, so like, he's basically a father because that requires a lot of care.
Right.
Plants are basically children.
Sure.
Yeah, I'll touch the scepters. I'll swing them around, hit Zeb with them. Can I?
We'll hit you back with that.
You recall her crossing them, and
Yeah.
when she crossed them, it formed that inverted ankh.
Yeah. Wouldn't it be so funny if I crossed them right now? Is anybody gonna stop me from doing it?
Do you do it?
Maybe we do this out in the yard.
Yeah, yes, I'll
in
do
the
it.
yard.
I'll do
Outside
it.
in the yard.
Maybe we do this outside.
Yeah, we're doing it in the yard.
In the yard.
Yeah, we're doing it in the backyard,
In
the garden.
backyard. Like, I'm sure that. Do you have hedges out here, Kienna?
We're hiding behind the hedges.
They have a rose garden.
Yeah, we're in the rose
No,
garden.
this is
Perfect.
this is right
Got
on
my
it's
sleeves
on the
rolled up.
campus of St. Hilda's College and Oxford University. There's probably
It's
college out in the
kids
garden.
passing by.
But there's college,
Like
yeah.
walking by.
We're just like,
Totally
keep
happening.
walking, keep walking.
That's
Yeah,
totally
we're like, don't look.
happening.
Don't, you don't
just
see
keep
anything.
walking.
They're all going,
Yeah.
Americans.
Yeah, we're like. Yeah, I will cross
Great.
the scepters.
Nothing
will do it.
happens.
Death Ray comes out and hits one of the kids.
Can you imagine? I would scream. I would love that. I'm gonna, yeah. Oh my god, no. My brain is going, well, just put on the headdress too, see what happens. Do both. I'm not gonna do that though. Yeah, I think Charlie crosses him and nothing happens. And he just kind of, he stands there and like, I think it would even like close his eyes. He's not, the thing is, he's not really actively like channeling any kind of energy into them, because that feels even so stupid that I don't think Charlie would do that. But after a minute, he just goes, yeah, I don't know. But
All right, so not immediate death, which is
well, no, I don't think. I like if they accidentally get crossed in your luggage. I don't think that. We're all
I
gonna
mean,
blow
we
up
just
or
want to
anything.
make sure I've seen weirder things, I guess.
Yeah. But keep them somewhere safe. Somewhere somebody couldn't find them easily, just in case.
Okay, all right.
I mean, we everywhere we go, there seem to be.
I now
cultists
have
just
this
running
bag
around.
of cricket equipment.
Great, just stick them in there.
I'll just say it's a really ornamental cricket bat.
It's like a fin pole. Okay.
Are there any conversations any of you would like to have?
I will with Anna, but I'll wait until
Yeah.
everyone else does
Yeah, I imagine that while Ganymede is kind of like super out of it, like in the early stages of recovery, I think Charlie would come read to you. Because Charlie spends a lot of time just reading on his own. It's how he's learned anything. Like he didn't go to like formal college or anything. But yeah, he would just come spend time with you, read to you while you're
What does he
recovering.
read? I want to know what he's reading.
Oh my
What does
gosh,
he
tell me what's in your
choose?
grandfather's library though.
I mean,
It's probably
it's huge, right? But
Yeah.
probably, there's probably all of the great fiction leading up to this point is probably there, and then a lot of like war histories and naval battles and that sort of thing.
Yeah. How about The Secret Garden?
Oh, that's amazing. I love it. That's so good.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was, in fact, that was one of Ganymede's favorite books when she was a child. And although she probably never tells you, it's one of the few memories that she has of her mother. Her mother would read this to her when she was sick in bed as a child. And so it's comforting and also just powerfully poignant for her that you would do that and sort of randomly choose that one book.
Yeah, I think like kind of in that way, like Charlie just kind of got a feeling, like it just felt like kind of the right book to pick.
Yeah.
And so yeah, he'll come read to you until you start feeling better.
Yeah, Ganymede is quiet, I think, for the first week or so. She is she's and even when she does speak, I think it's just the practicalities of recovery and getting to Oxford. But I think there are moments. I think it starts in the hospital, but I imagine everyone has some sense of this, that she has nightmares. I think you can occasionally hear her waking up screaming in the night, and and then just sort of muffled voices of Beatrix, or kind of calming her down. But I think it's probably like that for a couple of weeks, as she's recovering.
Are they about anything in particular?
Yeah, she sees the creature. I think that the image of it consuming the one victim that we saw it take is burned into her memory. And in her dreams, she also feels the burning. It's of whatever eldritch power Gavigan was using against her. It's cold. It reminds her of being in those mountains in Patagonia with Zeb, and the searing cold of the wind in the high mountain passes. And in fact, I think that's the effect that you see that it had on her body, right? I think her skin was blackened as if it were frostbitten in places. Yeah, I don't think there's any narrative to it. I think it's just those images over and over again.
Mm-hmm. And you are not the only one who has dreams. Irene, when you sleep, you constantly hear the cry of a baby. You know how old your daughter is. She's older than this sounds, but it could be her, it could be just something in you missing her. But you also see a huge dark mountain. You're not sure where all the time it's night, just you know that it's massive. And there's also the sound of something gigantic tearing.
Yeah, and as those dreams reoccur every night, it always reoccurs with her waking up in a cold sweat, going back to her notebook, and I think it's just the same scene, but every night it just gets a little more detail.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's another contour of the mountain.
Yeah.
One night, there's another note about where that sound could have been coming from. Just over the course of the time that she's had these dreams, they just keep building this concept in her sketches.
Do you show these sketches to anyone?
I think at some point, I think when she feels like it's probably a week in, like as complete as it's gonna get. I think she's gonna. Who did she show it to? That's a really good question. I think she's gonna show it to Charlie.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of like flip back to the really early drawings that she ever did of, these visions that she had when she picked up the mask back in New York.
Yeah, I think he's just kind of looking at it. I'm assuming he doesn't recognize it from anything.
You could attempt a natural world check because Irene is very skilled.
That's true. You know what? Today's the day for me to succeed.
How to succeed in natural world without really trying.
Can you imagine? I'm gonna use one of my advantages because I somehow accumulated 6, but Katie gave me 5, so what can I say? Okay,
Somehow.
Here we go. Somehow, some way.
Look at that crit fail.
Is this a mountain? I've never seen one before.
Yeah, Charles.
I have never been.
Charles has no idea, and part of that is because he's been having very different dreams from you.
Oh.
Charles.
Sure.
One night, as you're lying in bed, asleep with perhaps the comfort of an actual moon-filled night coming through the window, lying next to you on the bed, you see Zara Shafiq. She's lying very still. Her arms are pressed to her side. It doesn't look comfortable. Her neck is strained back.
Like it seems like she's in the room with him.
Mm-hmm. You don't. I think you probably aren't sure if you're sleeping or awake or in that space in between.
Yeah, I think too, he kind of like, I think he's just kind of like laying on his side, like looking at her, like he doesn't fully know where he is, right? Like where he is mentally. And I think he's gonna, if he can, he's gonna reach out and like touch her cheek.
Mm-hmm. When you reach out to touch her, your hand passes through and she disappears, but this dream comes back the next night. You see her face in a little more detail. She looks like she's concentrating very hard, muttering, but you don't hear what she's saying. Same
Yeah.
position.
Yeah, I think that the next time he doesn't want to touch her because he's afraid it's gonna go away, and I think he just kind of says, "Can you hear me?"
You see the muttering stop very suddenly. It almost looks like she gasps, but you still can't hear her, and she's gone again. But the next night, she's back. Same position, same muttering, same concentration.
Yeah, I think like he's like almost anticipating it at this point, you know, like, and I think he starts to like, he like sits up. Like, I think so far he's just been kind of at her side, and he's gonna like hover above her just to like look at her in the face. Does she seem to see him? Like, is there any recognition there?
Her eyes move towards yours. This time she doesn't look surprised. She continues that very concentrated, the furrowed brows as she looks at you. And she says, "You can see me."
Yes.
I think it reminds you of that vision in the car you had on the way back from Erica Carlisle's in New York, where Irene turned to you in the car and said a very similar thing, even though she wasn't there. I think she smiles a bit, though she's obviously still very focused on maintaining this connection. They put me into something. It's dark. I can't move much. They're going to put something into me.
Can you tell me anything else?
The air was different. Feels like home. I wish we had met before, Charles. Before he found me. I wish we had talked more. I wish I would have had friends like you have, to keep me in the light.
It's not too late for that.
I think her eyes start to well up and you can see them. The green looks more saturated than it was when you knew her in England.
I could come find you.
By the time you find me, I don't think I shall be me any longer.
I could try and help.
I think she smiles again and then turns her head. What does it look like there? I see nothing but darkness here.
He kind of looks outside, and I think like it's one of the clearer nights, and he says, it's night. It's still frigid cold, but the moon's out. It's actually quite a beautiful night. I can see the garden from here.
What does it smell like?
Like rain always. I had some tea before bed, so it's a bit of cinnamon too, and dirt and life. It's a soft place. A wood smoke.
I think her eyes have shut and you can see just fully tears rolling down her cheeks. And she stays like that for a while, just very quietly sobbing.
If you can try to hold on, then I promise I'll come get you.
I think she nods, but when she opens her eyes, you certainly don't see any hope there. And whenever you wake up or fall asleep, you're not sure which, she is gone and she does not return.
Yeah, I think he writes down everything that she said. Like the moment he wakes up, he writes it all down.
Mm-hmm. What do you dream about, Zebulon?
Oh, I mean, I think that there's definitely a few nights where he has nightmares of a more personal nature. You know, that whole situation could have gone a whole lot more south than it did.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he saw that person get eaten up by the monster, and like his sister was right there, and so I think he definitely has a few nights where he wakes up like worried that that's what's happened, and that you know, that saving his sister was the dream, right? And so there's definitely that, but I think he sort of eventually manages to, I guess, work it off. If you have, like, you know, some logs that need cutting around here, you know, doing the whole Captain America, just, you know, ripping it in half. Like, I think that yeah, I mean, I think that Zeb's probably the cheeriest out of the bunch at the moment, though. Like, as far as Zeb is right now, like, he's definitely not like his teenage self where, you know, he would have been a lot more chipper, but he thinks things went very well for the most part. You know, Ganymede, injuries withstanding, but she survived, and that's the important thing. But I think he's also just being very attentive to his sister. So, like, once he gets over his nightmares, he's, you know, normal dreams.
Yeah. I think let's zoom into you and Annabelle and Ganymede, probably too. I think while the two of you are together, wherever you are on the property, you can decide, but she walks in with 2 suitcases.
I think it's the same bedroom that she was in before. Maybe this is closer to the end of her recovery, and And Zebulon, why would Zebulon be there? Just checking in?
Probably just checking in, I think Zeb probably is. It's very easy for Beatrix. That was your.
Yes.
Very easy for her to get Zeb to just be like, could you take this to Ganymede, right?
Yeah.
Like Zeb's real easy to sucker into that, and so he's probably brought you like tea or a meal or something.
Yeah.
And is just chatting with you, trying to keep your, spirits up. Maybe reminiscing about other times that aren't this one.
Yeah, absolutely.
Kienna?
Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning. You look as though you're ready to travel, Anna. What are you leaving us?
Yes, I've booked passage back to New York. Thought I'd go and visit Pearl since she's planning a wedding. And no one else is going to design that dress over my... I feel like she was going to say dead body, but she does not.
Anna, I'm sorry, but I must inform you that it is traditional to ask the permission of the lady of the house before leaving as a guest, and I can inform you preemptively that I will not grant it. But she has a smile on her face, of course.
Anna doesn't return it.
Yeah.
She's been very subdued, I guess is probably the best word. Like recovering from shock and trauma, right? It's going to be a long process.
That sounds like a good idea. I think Pearl will be really happy to see you.
And it's probably better for my health and safety to be far away from whatever trouble the two of you are going to get into next.
Probably. Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna... Yeah.
Ganymede just nods. I think Ganymede begins to say something, but stops herself. I think she's not quite sure what to say, but she feels the weight of the trauma that Anna is carrying right now, and so I think she just holds a hand out to her from where she's sitting, propped up on pillows.
Yeah, she'll take it.
And Ganymede gives it a squeeze, and then I think she pulls it in, and she just very tenderly kisses the back of her hand. I will miss you. Thank you for everything.
There's just a nod, and she looks at the two of you. Please take care of each other. I understand, and I don't understand at all why y'all have to be the ones to stop all this.
I mean, I feel the same way. I'm not gonna lie. But who else is gonna believe us? I can see you off at the station. I assume you're heading out to London.
Mm-hmm.
if you don't mind, Ganymede.
Of course.
But yeah, Zeb will get up. And if he has sort of like, I mean, you know, when Annabelle's ready to leave,
Yeah.
he'd like to take a moment with her, sort of maybe outside the room or all that. Are you gonna be all right?
Eventually, if I work on it with someone I trust, maybe.
He sort of just nods, and you know, Zeb's definitely apologized profusely before this point,
Right.
for getting her wrapped up in this, and he just sort of, I think he, you know, gives her a real tight hug. He says, "Now, if you ever need anything, you know, I might be far away, but if I'm sure you could probably leave a note here. I think Ganymede will probably make sure Beatrix knows how to get in touch with her. I'll be there, whether I'm back in the States or in Timbuktu or wherever this may take me."
Don't miss Pearl's wedding. She'll never forgive you.
I will absolutely not miss Pearl's wedding. If there's one thing I fear more than whatever it is that we are fighting, it is a Pearl who feels snubbed. I think I fear that more than God. I love you.
Please come home when this is all over.
Yeah, that's the plan. I think I'll like some nice, normal. Never thought I'd describe our household as normal, but nice and normal for a while after this.
Yeah, and the two of you head to catch a ride to the train station. On the way out, you pass by Charles and Irene.
Yeah, I think Charlie sees them leaving, like she has her stuff. And he goes, "Oh, you're headed out."
Yes, back to the States.
Would you mind waiting here just for a minute?
I can spare 60 seconds.
He books it. He runs inside because he knows that she really will leave in 60 seconds.
Punctual.
Yeah, and he goes into his room, and I think you would see that there's like papers kind of scrawled out over one of the like side tables, and he quickly just like looks at them. It's clearly like a rough draft of a letter, right? But she's leaving, so he puts all the papers together. He folds them up really quickly, puts them in an envelope, and scrawls her name on the outside, and then runs back out, and will hold out this envelope to Annabelle. You can throw it away if you want. You don't ever have to open it. But it's here if you do want to.
I think she nods and puts it in her bag. Says, "Good luck," but she's looking at Irene, and then she swans out. And later in this time, as we jump about, Zebulon, as you are trying to sleep, there is a knock at your window.
Zeb gets up and goes to the window.
Mm-hmm. Outside, there is a young lady, blonde, about your age, wrapped up in a coat. Pointing at the door.
Opens the door. Yeah. Zeb opens the door.
Hello.
This is who I think it is.
This
right?
is Eloise Vane.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm trying to. It's been a while. We've been in England for so long. Like I'm
We've been
going
in
so
England
far
for
back in my
22
notes for this. Eloise.
Oh, good, you remembered.
Of course, I mean, you're pretty hard to forget.
She holds out her hand so you can help her through.
Yeah. Zeb helps her in. I will. This is March, so it's probably still pretty cold at night.
Yeah, y'all are probably well into April now too.
Okay, April. Zeb doesn't have a shirt on while he's sleeping.
Nice.
That's fine. He's just got like pajama pants. Like, you seem to be
Better, right?
yes, yeah.
It was very strange. My father and brother had kind of just trying the same old thing, just with a more reinforced cell now. They told me everything after you all had left, and well, I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do, but the night of the new moon, it was very strange. It was like everything regressed. The symptoms of, well, they tried to explain it to me, of my transformation, the Vane family curse. It had regressed, and now it only comes back the night of the full moon proper, much less than before. So, still kind of the same routine, but it's easier now. I don't know if it will stay this way or get worse again. I still sometimes feel called out to the moors, but there's no more howling. Only me. Only me.
Sam just kind of chuckles nervously, like well, not nervously, awkwardly.
Yeah.
Well, I'm really happy to hear that.
She kind of shuffles on her feet.
Yeah. I think he obviously offers her like somewhere to sit.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want something to drink? I could.
I don't want to disturb the whole household.
What are you doing here? Are you
I mean, Papa has connection, so I was able to find out, where you were staying because of Miss Graves' grandfather. And I just wanted, I didn't know how long you were going to remain, so I thought I would have to come now if I wanted to see you before you left. Just to say thank you, and because I remember, I can't remember much from the episodes ever, but I remember you.
Oh my gosh, Zeb is definitely like blushing a little bit. Yeah. Yeah, no, I do think that I do think now it's saying it's hard because I'm looking at you. So I'm just like but no, I do think that he leans in and he kisses her.
And then she pounces. With
Oh,
kisses.
no.
With kisses. With kisses.
Oh no! Zeb dies.
The claws are out. Zeb's dead.
Zeb dies.
You can't say pounce, Lauren. You can't say pounce with the things we find.
Like a happy Labrador. Not like a...
So, anybody else want to do anything? She leaves in the morning. Not like she doesn't sneak out. I mean, she does sneak out from the rest of you, but
Well, she has breakfast with us, though, right? She should.
okay, she does.
A deliciously awkward but lovely breakfast.
Oh, Charlie loves it.
Is there,
He's not awkward at all. He loves every second of it. He keeps asking questions.
Is there a way that people normally get in touch with the daring when it's out at sea? Like, does it have its?
It has a
Wireless, I think. Yes, that's a thing at this point.
Like a radio. I mean,
Yeah.
He probably like a clicker thing. He probably, I mean, with Ganymede's permission, lets her know that she could get in touch with him if she needs. Since he'll probably be leaving in a few weeks. He does ask her if she wants to travel. Still.
I feel like my particular condition in combination with a boat would be a bad idea. But I've gotten to see more of England. That's been nice.
Well, maybe when I get a chance, when I'm done with this travel, maybe hopefully your condition gets a little better. Maybe you'd like to travel then.
Yeah, I think she smiles. And breakfast continues. Yeah. Anything else? Anybody? Anything you want to do? Conversations you want to have?
I have a couple of questions, and I think there's one conversation I'd like to have, but I want to make sure Irene has a chance to have hers as well.
Yeah. Ooh. I think she does want to check in on Zeb. Probably post her leaving, like Eloise leaving. It's
Yeah,
this awkward, point. And after Annabelle has left as well. Where would Irene find Zeb post? Everyone hounding him about girl over.
Outside, ripping wood apart with his bare hand.
Working
You're,
out.
swinging, you're
No
hitting a
shirt.
shrub with a
No.
cricket bat. What are you talking about?
No,
No, I
shirt
think
on.
there's. I think when Zeb asked about that that Sir Edmund shared that there's an old shed out on the back of the property near the river that he's been meaning to tear down for years.
No shirt on.
Yeah.
It's just got a lot of energy right now. It's just...
Yeah, okay, yeah. So,
Someone finally got some. Well, Charles got some in New York. Someone finally got some in England.
Thank you.
New York. I think you got some in
Oh yeah,
in Peru.
Peru. Yeah.
We're just gonna like check off every single location.
Charles, Zeb.
Somebody has to get some in every location. Otherwise, we can't leave. We can't leave until we do.
Anyways, yeah. So I think Irene will probably walk up, and see Zeb shirtless. It's April in England. Yeah, and it's definitely like a. Aren't you cold like that?
I mean, once I start cooling down, I mean, I will be, but he's definitely like worked up a good sweat from doing something. So, steam rising.
Irene's definitely looking around, just be like, okay. How are you feeling after everything?
I'm feeling great. Wait, I mean, after everything, what everything are we talking about?
I'm not going to pry into whatever happened last night. I think Charles and Ganymede did enough of that for me. After,
I'll be honest.
Yeah.
I was pretty fucking terrified for a while there.
I think that's to be expected. We did see a lot.
It wasn't that as... I mean, I'm not gonna lie and say it wasn't really, really frightening. But it was more the thought of what could have happened to my sister that was really terrifying.
Well, you saved her.
Yeah. Took me a few days to remember that all, but or to really accept it, I guess. But I'm doing better now. Seeing Eloise and hearing about her at least partial recovery, it was good. It at least gave me a little hope that maybe we could actually help people.
Well, I guess in the grand scheme of things, that's what we're trying to do. I mean, I guess preventing a cult from doing whatever they're doing that would possibly harm everyone, if not the world, would be counted as helping other people.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I don't think any of us started this with that intention. I think for most people it's pretty personal or curiosity in nature, but yeah, if we help some people along the way, I'll be happy.
So, you said before that you didn't know what you were doing here or driving you forward. And you had a short-term goal when Annabelle was in danger. Now that's done, what do you think?
Well, I mean, I've done a lot of thinking about it. I think I've mentioned it, but I want to help people, that's for sure, but I'd be lying if I said that was my main reason for doing this. I think there's a lot of ways we go about this, and I do think that these people need to be stopped. They've put hurting a lot of innocent people, and a lot of innocent people are getting caught up in their wake. But I want to see this through for Mr. Jackson. I want to see his work finished, and I think, a lot of what he wanted to do was find the truth and bring it out into the light so that everyone would know. And I think I'd like to do that too.
I think at this point, Irene smiles and reaches up and I think ruffles Zeb's hair. It's definitely like I need to reach up because I'm taller than I am situation. But she does that. It's good to see you. It's good to see you not driven by anger.
Feels good not to be angry, I suppose. I mean, I'm still kind of angry at what these people are doing, but it's not like...
Anger is like a fire. It's most productive when it is slow burning and kept at a reasonable pace where it won't burn you. We should probably talk to the others at some point and figure out where our next steps are going to go. If you're on the search for truth and we're on the look for how to stop them.
That's probably a good idea. Zeb strides over to a tree branch where his shirt is hanging off.
Maybe you should wash up before then.
Zeb looks at the freezing cold river and then no, he goes back to the house where there's hot water.
But there was definitely that look.
There was a look.
And I think Irene just shakes her head.
And what about you, Ganymede Graves?
Toward the end of our time in Oxford, John Craig, who was a constant presence for the first week or 10 days or so, returns to the cottage, I think to see everyone and to share updates on whatever updates he might have access to on how things have unfolded officially, and I think Ganymede is walking comfortably at this point. There was a 2 weeks in bed, a week with the cane, and now she's walking more comfortably. And as we're moving into April, the gardens and the campus are beginning to be green, and there are some tulips coming up and daffodils. And I think they go for a walk around St. Hilda's and perhaps the city a bit. And I think Ganymede has very naturally taken his arm, and they walk very closely and are quiet for a while. How does he break the silence as they walk through these gardens?
He is very comfortable with the silence. He's just happy to be with you.
Yeah. Yeah.
He might eventually, I think, start talking about his plans, since he does not have a job to go back to anymore.
Yeah. So what will you be doing, John?
Always thought I'd look dashing in a fedora. So private investigating.
She looks up at him. She's tall, but he's taller. She looks up at him and smiles. Yes, I think the fedora would quite suit you. Long overcoat, perhaps. And it will be useful, of course, to have a friend in the business here, as they say.
Where
Give me a reason to keep in touch.
do you have to go?
She sighs. I've given that a lot of thought. I've not been sleeping well. How does one get over what we saw at Misa House, John?
My tactic will be burying myself in cases as soon as I can get some. There's still good that can be done here.
Yes, and you're just the good man to do it. And I think the others and I may be just the ones to do this, to follow it wherever it takes us. I am afraid, John, but I don't think I can stop now.
I think it's clear that he wants to say something,
Yeah.
but he is biting his tongue.
I think they're passing under the boughs of one of these massive oaks that are dotted around the gardens and campuses at Oxford, and it gives this sort of air of privacy, even though it's not. But she stops and turns toward him. I am coming back, you know.
I think his face is away from you. There's a bit of a sniff and a stiff upper lip. I would like that very much. Obviously, for you to be back here.
I think she just reaches up with just one finger and turns his chin back toward her face and says, "And when I do, I think perhaps it will be time to settle down for a while." Blink, blink.
He leans in and kisses you.
Yeah.
Probably takes off the hat that he's wearing to hide your faces from peering eyes.
Yes. I think it's a lingering kiss, and as it ends, she just holds his eyes for a moment and then takes him by the arm, and they continue their walk and make their way back toward the cottage. I think maybe she even leans her head on his shoulder as they walk for a moment.
So, our England chapter has come to a close. Where are you all going next?
We are gonna go to Shanghai. We're gonna follow
Yes, we
up
are.
on that thread that takes us all the way to another continent again.
Yes, you do have several clues pointing you to Shanghai. There was the matchbook from the Stumbling Tiger bar that you found in room 410, Jackson Elias's hotel room. There is the Hofang import-export paperwork and crates that you've seen, and you know, of course, that the Sea Devil was en route to Shanghai. And that it's possible a member of the Carlisle expedition is there as well. One Jack Brady. So, it's going to be a long journey. We have to cross the channel, night ferry from Dover to Calais, the Venice overnight express from Calais to Venice, and then on the RMS Viceroy of India to Shanghai, where you will arrive on Monday, May 11th, 1925.
Love it.
And that's where we're going to end today's episode. I loved it so much. It was so good. Let's go around and chat with everyone real quick before we get to redoing all our announcements from the top, but in a quicker and more efficient manner. Let's start with Zeb. Hi, Tommy.
Hi. Oh, that was such a good episode. Loved all the moments, and we finally got some smooches in England. It wasn't all sadness and depression and eldritch horrors. There were smooches, and I'm glad. I'm very happy for Zeb to have seen Eloise again. That was very glad, and I'm super excited to get to Shanghai. I'm so excited. Let's see. I'm Tommy, Adam Pear to Penguin on the Twitter sphere. I do tabletop RPG stuff and video editing stuff across the interwebs, like the intro for this show. Keep an eye on my Twitter for announcements. That'll happen eventually. And otherwise, go follow these amazing people. They're doing amazing things with amazing projects with other amazing people.
Yay. Let's hop up to Summer.
I loved today's episode. Seriously, so good. So much like darkness and trauma in our characters, and but like also little moments of happiness too. And I love it so much. I'm so excited for Shanghai. You can find me on Twitter at JustASummerJob. That's where I tweet and retweet about everything I've got going on. Here in 1 hour and 10 minutes, you can find me on Off the Table. We have Otterthon today. We've got Sapphic Space Pirates, which is a game by Natalie, Charm Person Games. I know that she is doing some prep over there starting like right around now, talking about the creation of the game. It's the first time it's ever being streamed, so I'm really excited for that. It's just gay longing in space. We've got Thistle and Hearth, and we've got masks, so please come by, support the channel. We would love to see you. And in less than a week, I know Lauren's gonna mention it, but I'm gonna mention it too, Missing Annie Lee is premiering on Friday. I'm so excited. Literally, we have worked our asses off on this podcast. Truly have worked our asses off. So please go listen to it. It's gonna be, you're gonna love it. I'm just telling you right now, you're gonna love it. The end. End of story. See you next week.
Excellent. Let's head over to Allie.
My heart is so full from that entire episode. I loved it so much. And I love that it it takes the trauma seriously, right? My heart aches for Annabelle. The way that was played was really beautiful. Thank you for all of that. And thank you to our faithful viewers who are here with us every week and following this amazing story here and on YouTube. We see you, YouTube. You're amazing. You can find me on Twitter at Allison Robinson with 2 L's and a Y, where I tweet about games and space and robots and all kinds of wild stuff. Follow me there for more of that action if it's what you're into. Also, one more thanks to Billy at Bill of the Forest on Twitter for collaborating with me on that amazing scoop article in the authentic voice of Mickey Mahoney, reporter and editor for The Scoop. Can't wait to see Mickey back in our lives at some point in the not too distant future. Love it, Billy. Thank you so much. Bye, everybody.
And Key, the sweet that is you.
Yes, the sweet that is me. I am sweet.
You are the sweet.
Yes. Yeah, this was awesome. Loved it so much. I love being able to have these interpersonal moments with everyone. But you can find me over on Twitter at Kienna. Best way to figure out how I'm doing. When I'm not here on the channel, I'm mostly just here though. I guess things to announce. I've got my new game, Heaven or Hell, version 2 out. So if you want to play some queer relationship bullshit, if you like Good Omens, this is Good Omens, the game, essentially. And I've updated it with a new layout and with updated wording and rules and all that stuff. So now you can do with polyam and familial and all that stuff bullshit. So yeah, go check that out. I'm very proud of it. And yeah, I guess we'll just leave this over to you, Lauren, and then we'll do all of our announcements.
Hey everybody, I'm Lauren, and that's Salty Ginger over on Twitter. I'm the Salty. Things coming up for me this Sunday, the 7th, February 7th. I'm going to be over on Madame Gandalf's channel, facilitating Alice is Missing for a really cool group of people, so you should check that out. Otherwise, I'm just gonna be here screaming about Missing Annie Lee, releasing on Friday on all your podcast apps. Oh my gosh.
Go follow it right now.
You can go follow it now. It's really cool. In terms of channel stuff, thank you to our sponsors, Roll20, Dice Envy, and Grinding Coffee Co. Thank you for supporting us and allowing us to keep doing the show and growing and compensating our cast. It's really cool. Also, follow us on Twitter if you want to see when we're going live, because we've got shows coming back, like Against the Stars comes back on Wednesday, February 24th at 2 p.m. Pacific. That's exciting. We're going to be launching a new show maybe sometime in April.
April or May,
Yeah.
depends on how things go on, but
Get
we've got
there.
some stuff there.
Yeah, that we're excited about. And we have a Discord now, if you want to get on in there. You just need to message us on Twitch or Twitter for that link. We're trying it out. It's an experiment. Don't at me. I mean, I guess you have to, technically.
Don't. You technically have to add us to
I guess
get in.
you technically have to.
Yeah, and on Tuesday, we've got a special For the Queen one-shot with some friends of ours, including Allie, so you'll see her again, and Sam from our Against the Stars campaign, and Gabe, our friend over in the internet. We're excited to be doing this fun one-shot Tuesday at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern to celebrate 1 year of TTRPG campaigns on the channel. It's amazing. We've been doing this for a year.
And thank you for 700 followers on Twitch. That is so cool. Wowzers. Otherwise, you can catch any episodes you missed of this show. We will be back next Saturday with brand new art by Matt Bat, by our friend Avery. This art is sick. It is so good. We're gonna update all the stuff. It's gonna be so cool. And yeah. Catch you later. Alrighty. Wait, bye everybody. Goodbye.